to leave the country
and made lots of sacrifices for the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Many of us invested in the school, college, university ministry.
But these are not only mantles but spiritual authorities.
One of the things that bring revival in this country is the power of the Holy Spirit, the presence of the Holy Spirit.
Catch Tracing the Mantles every Sunday from 8:30, hosted by Pastor Sunda Juma, only on Elevate TV.
Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monday Morning Digest. I'm your host, Godfrey, Gichuki, and this is the first, episode of the Monday Morning Digest. And I'm very, very happy that we can come back to this show. Very exciting, early morning conversation, and as always, Monday, I like to bring in guests that bring in interesting ideas in areas of personal growth, personal development, business, corporate governance, and a few other things in between. And today we are, aware that the beginning of the year we're going to be talking about mentorship. And today we want to talk about understanding mentorship. There are a lot of people that actually want to understand mentorship. They need some mentorship. And also there are some of you, maybe youth pastors or leaders or pastors who actually want or are thinking about some mentorship program in the course of the year. So I think that's a good place to start, to talk about mentorship, and then how you can apply mentorship to help develop the young people and bring them on board, help them grow. And you also maybe also need to understand, you probably need a mentor out there. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this morning. So welcome, and please share the links with your friends, and make sure that you subscribe on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page, so that whenever we go live, you can get the links. All right, so let me just ask my guests to, introduce themselves, and also welcome our viewers.
Yes.
Martin, Owilah, Omondi,
Yes,
karibu sana to the show
Asante.
this morning.
Thank you so much for having
Wonderful, yeah, wonderful young man. So look at this camera and welcome our viewers,
Yeah.
and tell them to join us.
Thank you so much. So to all our viewers, you are welcome to this show, and also just privileged, this is my first show this year. 2025 being our year of, this is our year of new beginnings, indeed, a new chapter. So karibuni sana to the show, Matters Mentorship. I know that you and I, part of the things that we are putting in place in terms of our resolution is on our personal growth and personal development. And so I know that if that personal development needs to really be a key thing, then mentorship is going to be a very vital part of us. So you are most welcome, and being a Monday is so nice. It sounds like mentorship Mondays to me. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Yes.
Asante. Yeah, maybe we can baptize it Mentorship Monday.
Mentorship Monday.
Yeah, so exactly, because at the beginning of the year,
Yeah, sure.
people, you know, are thinking about their goals for the year. They are planning how the year is going to be.
Yeah.
And so as we plan and we lay out our plans and our schemes, I think it's important for us to be able to have maybe some kind of support and some kind of mentorship. So today I want you to really talk to us about let's begin from your personal experience in terms of, you know, your journey. You have been involved in sports.
Yes.
and rugby for that matter.
Yeah,
so
sure,
that's a very nice sport.
Yeah.
And it requires strong men like
Yes.
you, actually. You know, you are a strong man.
Yeah.
So tell us about your journey, your experience,
Yeah.
and we can begin from there.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, my name is Martin Owilah, Omondi. I'm really blessed of the Lord also to be here. Married, and it's good to say in such a time and a season, I'm married to one wife, a woman of that matter. And
Yes.
God has blessed us with a baby boy,
Okay.
just turned 1 year just recently.
Okay.
I'm privileged to serve in Winners Chapel International, Nairobi, also as the youth leader in that place. And among many things, I really thank God that I can say I'm a product of mentorship.
Okay.
Through the kind of lifestyle that God has taken me through sports. I started playing rugby in Kisumu Rugby,
Okay.
but in Homa Bay High School. So
Right.
Homa Bay High School to Kisumu Rugby Club.
Okay.
I moved to Nakuru Rugby Club, and then Mount Kenya University Thika, and then I landed in KCB Rugby Club.
Okay.
Privileged to play for the Kenya 15s national team, and until the year 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, so sports is really a key thing that God has given me to use in my place of mentorship, because it has helped me to understand things like how do I react when we lose a game? How do I react when we win? The discipline that is required. If I can wake up in the morning and go for my morning runs, then that means I can also wake up in the morning and go for my prayers. I can wake up in the morning and, you know, engage in my studies. So the discipline that is required, how you relate with your coaches, your captains, your team, your teammates. So that in itself for me has become a whole mentorship platform. And that's why I think today we shall be sharing more, knowing that mentorship is not just on following individuals as people, but there are also platforms and institutions that gives you that platform for you to be mentored and for you to just grow. So all through this year, I know everyone has a plan of developing themselves and, you know, in their personal growth, in their personal development. And one key thing that will be sustainable is the place of mentorship.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wonderful. I think I like that. I like how you've laid it out. That yes, sometimes the mentorship is actually coming through the institutions you work with, the people you actually get to interact with.
Yeah, sure.
And sports is a big place.
It's a big place.
It's a big opportunity
Yes.
to find people that you can work with and grow with. And especially, maybe you could mention your experience, especially playing in a competitive sport like rugby. Does that kind of like, how does that influence how you think and develop as a young man? You know, men like young men like you know
where they put their energy.
Putting their energy somewhere. So maybe you can speak about that. There are some people who probably have they love to live a docile life. Maybe there is something they are missing. So maybe you can speak.
Oh
to
yes,
that.
and I think Gigi, it's a really great place because you actually realize sports is one of the things that, as much as, you know, growing up they used to say it's something that keeps you busy. It's more than just keeping you busy. It allows a young person to be able to grow in different dimensions. Number one, you're able to grow in your physicality. Yeah, the Bible was telling us that, you know, physical exercise profiteth a little. Even that little little is key for us.
Yes.
Yeah, godliness, profit, and all things. But the little that we get helps a lot. When it comes to sports like rugby is very intense.
Yeah.
We usually say, rugby is the ultimate sport among all other sports. The discipline that comes with it, we have our rugby values, respect, sportsmanship, and stuff like that. Honesty, integrity as part of the sports. So even outside education, outside your mentorship platforms, sports is one of the things that gives you the area of how to learn in terms of treating people. Yeah, do you abuse your teammates? Do you abuse your opponents when they win over you? Or when you win over them, how do you react? So it gives you that room to actually grow yourself and develop yourself in terms of association, how you relate with people, how you talk to the referees, I've not had any other sport, but in rugby we call our refs sir.
Oh,
so
okay.
Whether they give you a yellow card or red card, you have to say thank you sir, yes sir. And for me, that gives you the platform of also nurturing how you're able to, see authority. We listen to our captains, we listen to our coaches, we listen to our seniors. And so, part time, sports gives you that room. And also, more importantly, also sports helps you with your mental health. And that's a very key area that we are dealing with, especially as a generation. Many other time we look at, how do I improve on my mental health? And I think one of the key areas is on your physical exercise. And that physical exercise comes in well when it is under a framework of a sports. Yeah, a sports team, a sports group, a sports, environment. Because it gives you that all-round mental activity. You're able to shout. Rugby is so physical. So we have the leeway of knocking each other and just getting everything outside there.
Yes.
After that training, the intense training, after the sweating, after the pain, after all that is done, you're able to exhale, you're able to refresh yourself. And so I think sports is one of the key things. I'm privileged to engage with Mary Show School on matters mentorship and fellowship. And I think one of the things, it's called Home of the Boy Child.
Yes.
And that for me was so unique for me.
Okay.
Home of the Boy Child. I never knew a school would have such a theme. And so one of the key things that they have among their pillars is on the pillar of spirituality and mentorship, but also the school is so big in sports. So that, for me, that really caught up with me. That as much as, and this is to our parents, as much as we are encouraging our students to get their A's, their B's, their C's, to pass in their academics, the place of, just reflecting and encouraging them to maximize on their gifts, talents, and potential as sports is really key. Because that is also one thing that keeps them in school. That passion keeps, and you can use the same passion now to train them. I mean, a sportsman can wake up at 5 a.m. and go for their morning runs.
Yes.
So it's the same tenacity, the same energy that they can put in their prayer life, they can put in their academics, they can put in their workspace. You just need to know, how do I borrow that and put it in my area of personal development? Until the whistle goes, the game is not over.
All right.
So when you take such an example in sports, then you're able to understand, they might be leading, it doesn't mean the game is over.
All right.
So no matter the challenges you go through, sometimes you're knocked down, you have to pick yourself up. So for me, sports has become a great pillar that can be used in mentorship. And the young people that we actually mentoring are able to understand it even better. So that's one of the key things about, just sports coming in as a mentorship tool and a platform.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. And that's really amazing, Martin. And you have had a great experience, obviously, yourself. You're not just talking about things. This is has been your life.
Yeah, sure.
And you have actually developed in very many dimensions, growing across the board, and even discovering your personal strength, and discovering your own body, being able to master yourself, master your muscles, master your thinking, and develop your intellectual capacity, and ability to work and deal with people, and also to actually be able to work in a competitive environment. Because I think one of the things, and maybe this is something I want you to speak to, the idea that a lot of young people, especially in the modern workplace, they are finding it very, very difficult to handle competitive environment. So if you're working with colleagues and and there's a challenge that comes up, maybe a relationship challenge, some of these young people just coil back and begin to feel victimized, and they can't express themselves, they can't confront a situation, and maybe just stand up and challenge. And maybe you can speak to that. What are some of the things you learn in sporting that you can apply to the workplace?
Yeah, and I think that brings us, we were trying to look at some of the challenges that actually young people face.
Yes.
And so how we borrow that from sports as a mitigation tool.
Exactly.
I think maybe I'll just, cover maybe three. And number one is actually the place of self-esteem and self-awareness.
Okay.
Most of us, when you hear someone talking about Gigi outside there, even when it is your birthday or something that you're celebrating, how they talk about you, how they put you in their status, they talk so well about you. But when it comes to themselves, it becomes an issue. And so we need to really encourage our young people. One thing that we borrow from sports is that you need to be nice to yourself. Yeah, in rugby, if there's something that I love about the sport of rugby, we have these chant songs that we do before a game, okay?
Yes.
We will sing a worship or a praise song, but in a manner that is exciting. It puts us on the verge of, we are going for war at this moment. But the affirmation comes in with the song. Yeah, the coach will tap your chest, players will beat your chest and, just give you some shake-up. You are able to do this. So that self-affirmation is able to help us with handling things like self-esteem and self-awareness. Self-affirmation is something that our young people need to recognize that is very key. You need to be kind to yourself as much as you are kind to others. You need to be really kind to yourself. And most of our young people struggling even in workplace and other places is because they are not kind to themselves. And so that makes them also to look down on themselves, which is very dangerous. Yeah, because even Paul said that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So he's not putting himself outside the equation. He's actually putting himself in the equation, that as God and, God strengthens you, you're able to take the personal responsibility to actually also affirm yourself. God means well for us.
Right.
So we actually need to also mean well for ourselves. The plans that he has for us are good.
Yes.
And then the second challenge, I think, will be in the place of contentment. Yeah, most of our young people, we are competing to a point of killing ourselves. And it's so sad to see that we are losing young people in the place of competition, in the place of, not being able to be contented. Yeah, just throughout this week, I was really sad to see one of our young people who just took out his life because of relationship issues. And that comes also in the place of contentment. Do I know my place in this relationship? We need to be contented. We need to be grateful. One of the things about sports, especially rugby, we win a game, whatever margin. It might not be the points that we were looking forward to, but that is the points that we get. We are grateful, we are contented.
Yeah.
We work on the next game. You lose a game, it doesn't mean that is the end of the league. The league is still long. We need to go to the next game. So those are some of the nuggets that you actually get through sports that helps you even in your workplace. And, more importantly about contentment now, we need to place in the place of godliness, because it is contentment now with godliness that, is a great gain. So as much as we are contented, we need to put ourselves in such a place that we are grateful for that which we have, counting our blessings, naming them one by one, not competing, not being able to borrow beyond your means. For example, a young person is earning, 20,000 in his workplace, is now staying in a house that is 25,000 for starters and showing off. That in itself will come back and, put you in a lot of stress and all these things.
Yeah.
And apart from contentment, I think the other thing I would say is what we call, boldness. We really need boldness.
Yes.
In the current time that we live in, we need boldness, we need courage, we need a lot of tenacity to face the pressure that comes with the workplace.
Okay.
And if there's something that I said rugby is the ultimate sport. I don't know about other sports, but if there's something that rugby teaches us is that place of boldness.
Okay.
You are new in that team, but the way you want to face your opponent is with a lot of boldness, like I've been playing this game for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And so that comes in with a lot of training. But again, we need to remind ourselves, even as young people, that the place of boldness also comes with knowledge.
Yes.
If you remember when we used to do our examination,
Yes.
when you face an examination, you will be bold because you had actually revised from it.
Yes.
So the working knowledge behind your place of career, behind your place of gifting, talent, even in your sports, that knowledge then becomes very key for you to be bold in approaching that which you want to do.
Okay.
And so it's my desire that all through our mentorship journey, the life and the time that God has given me, especially my team, is to be able to see people coming out responsible, bold, and competent.
Yes.
Because with that 3 nuggets, you are really able to take care of some of the challenges that we go through. So I think those 3 for me will be major.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Self-esteem, self-affirmation, part of it, boldness, and the place of contentment, and how sports can help nurture that.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, as you follow this conversation.
Yeah.
I really think that this is a very, very important conversation on Monday morning. And thank you very much, Karen, that this is a very timely engagement. I hope all the young people can tune in. Martin is loaded. That's what Karen is saying. And Victor Kipkorir here, yes, godliness with contentment is great gain.
Yes.
And so that's very, very important to note.
Very key.
Yeah, so Martin, I really love the some of the things that you're raising here, and the call for boldness, and
Yes.
a lot of young people, and we are talking about both genders, young men, young women.
Yeah, sure.
I think there is need for us to grow some of these virtues, the being bold and courageous. Bold and courageous.
Wow.
I think we live in a very, I want to call it feminized world. Nothing against the women, but there is a sense in which a lot of people have a very, the expectation of the world is that a world which is soft and so safe and secure, and you will never have trouble. You will never have somebody challenge you. Everybody, like people, everybody is singing kumbaya with the other one.
Yes.
But that kind of a world doesn't seem to exist. So do you sense that a lot of people, young people, are unprepared for the world? Before we come to some of the key techniques for mentoring young people.
Okay.
Do you think, because we are looking at the problems young people are facing, do you think some of the young people are so unprepared? What has been your experience? Some of the people you've met that really have, their sad stories and tough stories, before we talk about the success, what do you think are the other challenges?
Well, I think some of the challenges also is we not being able to come out and raise our voice. Most people are really struggling within themselves. Why? Because either the fear of, if I tell it out, I'll either be ashamed, or the person will actually expose me, or they actually don't know how to go about it. The first time I gathered, a set of people, apart from, my university days, because that was already a framework of people who were already there. We started what we call Ushauri One.
Yeah.
And it was during COVID, it has just gone. And so I decided just to do an announcement within our platforms and charge. And those who were able to enroll, we got around 10 boys.
Okay.
Yeah, these 10 boys came from a very unique set of people. They either were firstborns in their families, they were the only sons in their families, or they were coming from single parents' families. And so I relate with all 3.
Yes.
Yeah, growing up. And so I knew this was very much divine. God had sent them. And so when I started walking this journey with them, I realized young people have a lot of dreams, very great dreams, very great visions and ambitions that they want to do. But it seems that they don't know how to bring it out. Yeah, and the challenge is, some thought when they bring it out, they'll be challenged, that this is not who you are and stuff like that. And that is why we mentioned self-affirmation.
Yeah.
And so most of our young people have great dreams and great ambitions, but now they lack role models, they lack mentors, they lack coaches, as we shall see. Mentors fall under all these 3 areas and 4 or 5 areas. And so that challenge of trying to get who the right mentor is actually a big gap. in our generation. The other thing is now the platforms that we have in our social media platforms. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of access to different platforms, and I think most of our young people don't have reference points that can help them be able to grow. Not every open door is God's door, you know, as Bishop Oyedepo would say, and not every platform of access is good for you as an individual. And so also that is a challenge, because young people, we need to put ourselves in such a place whereby we are able to access the right knowledge that applies to us. Just like not every other person can be your mentor. They might be good, but they don't have the results that you desire. So I feel like the other challenge is that we are following after different mentors, but some of them, we are not in alignment with them. So they're actually, you know, showing you a different picture than who you want to become, or you are actually becoming. And then I think lastly also I can talk about our experiences. There's something that we have in mentorship called mentorship models, okay? And there's something that we use called the SHAPE model. And most people have actually done something on it. So the SHAPE model it's an abbreviation that talks about your place of spirituality. And then H talks about the things that you have a heart for. You know, what are those things that you are passionate about that can be able to guide you to continue to walk towards, you know, your destiny and your purpose in life. A talks about your abilities. A talks about association. Proverbs 13:20, he that walks with the wise shall be wise. A companion of fools shall be destroyed. And so many of our young people have actually fallen under different distraction because of the association that they kept. Yeah, the wise men used to say that if you walk with you know, thieves, they'll say you are one. Birds of the same feather flock together in such like proverb.
Yeah, sure.
P talks about our potentials, our personality types. These are things that we need to intentionally be able to help our young people to know. They need to have nuggets, because it helps you on how you react, how you become, how you access mentorship, and how you also impact on your world. But importantly, where the challenge is coming now is on E. So when you talk about the SHAPE model, E talks about our experiences.
All right.
There is something that this young person actually experienced in his growing up. Was it bullying? Was it pain? Was it death of a loved one? Their experiences in those three areas when you're growing up, maybe, and we can, you know, put it maybe in primary school, secondary school, and in the university, that are actually shaping who we are. And we cannot run away from that. We need to build the capacity and the tenacity and the boldness that is required to actually attend to these experiences that are actually affecting us. Someone has really kept something within himself that has been painful for a long time. And so when such a thing happens, it triggers him or her and makes him or her to react in a different manner, instead of actually taking care of it and embracing it. We've seen many young people, you know, bring in their pain through music. Pain has been brought through art, through spoken word, in prayer, and all this. So these are platforms. Gifts, talents, potential, and sports are platforms for you to also bring in your pain, your passions, so that you're able to just let them out. So I think our experiences is a challenge, because I feel like most of our young people are not attending to the negative experiences they came out from. They are trying to cover them, but you cannot cover them, because at any trigger they'll want to come out. So I think it's also an area we really need to, you know, strive and help our young people to actually attend.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, well, that is amazing. That is amazing. So we are talking about mentorship, and I believe that you're learning some of the things that can help you, you know, be effective in mentorship. And asante sana. Thank you very much, all of you that are following this conversation. Those of you that are following and engaging with us, we are so excited. This is Monday. It's the beginning of the year. Yes. So it's time to think about some of the plans you have. Are you planning, are you engaged with a mentorship program? How are you growing yourself? Who is mentoring you, and what kind of programs are you? Are you, you know, having some mentorship, spiritual mentorship? What is your heart? What is at the, you know, what are you passionate about? What about abilities and associations? Those are very interesting ideas. Do you know your potential and maybe perhaps your personality, and what some of the experience you have brought in? And so I think Martin, I want to talk about, and this is just, I think we just begin this,
Yeah.
about some of the programs you have. Do you have a program that specifically you've designed?
Yes.
Maybe for your youth ministry or something like that. I want us to open that space,
Okay.
and then there are some who may be saying, "Oh, Martin is a great guy. I would like him to mentor me."
Yes.
And so maybe we'll be introducing that before we take a break.
Oh,
So you can mention very briefly, and then before we go into a
Before
break.
we go for a break. So yes, we have mentorship platforms that I actually get involved in. After university, I started something called Mentor Me program. Yeah, just mentor me, and then it's Mentor Me program. Currently, we've transformed it to Mentor Me Global, to mean that mentorship is actually to you. And then for us, a mentor, the word mentor means man to responsibility, as it is.
Yes.
Yeah, so that R in mentor is just you being part of responsible. So Mentor Me program, we started in Thika, currently ongoing. We do our sessions every Monday. And that's why it's really, this is so, for me, this is so satisfying.
Yeah.
And I have a team in Thika, Wesley Abor, and the team that actually carrying that out within the university, in Mount Kenya University, and just Thika and this environment. We are really looking towards transforming lives for impact. And we focus a lot on the 3 Ps, passion, purpose, and potential. And then it's our desire that every mentee that goes through our program comes out on what we call the red blood cells of mentorship. So we abbreviated it as RBC, to mean that when you go through this program, you come out responsible, you come out bold, and you come out competent. Individually, I also have one-on-one sessions with different people. Parents refer their teens, parents refer their youth. And so we have one-on-one sessions, and I have 2 areas that I do this. Within my church setup, I'm based there, so those are our meeting points, depending on where the teen or the parent is really willing to meet. And also as part of KCB Rugby Club, now serving under the leadership there, the management, as part of the player welfare. And so I use the premises at KCB Ruaraka if you want to have a one-on-one session. And also we also visit your place. Yeah, that is all when it is okay with the parent. Then lastly, on my engagements also, I'm engaged with Mary Shaw School, home of the boy child, past Kitengela in Isinya. I have sessions with them there on fellowship and mentorship. And so those are just different areas that you can find me. Very, very good school, I must say, because one of the pillars that they have is on spirituality and mentorship, among other pillars like talent and development. And so I would also, encourage our parents, our guardians outside there, that if schools are also part of the mentorship platforms that you really need to refer your teens, because when you send them to school, you are not going to be with them. So ensure that the school that you are sending your child to has that spirituality and mentorship pillar. They're also big on sports and talent, so that your child is growing holistically.
Wow.
Yeah? And that's why, I love the place that I am engaged in. I'm also a product of mentorship platforms, as I said. I attend, the Truth Mentorship, which happens at the Apostolic House every Thursday. I was privileged to be part of the, Young Ministers Conference that was called by Apostle Juma. So all this becomes platforms.
Okay.
So don't just listen to your mentors alone, but also get into different platforms that can help you grow.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. We're going to take a short break.
Yes.
Yes, this is getting very exciting. Mentorship, you need to pay attention. You need to find a mentor, and you need to get involved in some mentorship programs. So let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll return to this conversation, and we're going to be linking you up and showing you what you need to do, how you can connect, and some of the programs, other programs that are available for you. So don't go away. Let's take a short break. We're coming back to this conversation shortly.
Life Church International is training Christ-like workers for Christ-like Church through Gospel Light College and Nation to Nation Christian University from Dallas, Texas. We offer a certificate, a bachelor's degree and master's degree in biblical studies and community development. The training will prepare you for ministry and the work of God in the church and the body of Christ. Through our different ministry partners, we have classes in Nairobi, Kajiado, Kirinyaga, and Machakos. Contact us through 0748 006112 for the ongoing registration for January 2025. Looking for a school that provides a solid foundation for your little one? Lozi Christian School is now admitting children from 2 to 6 years old from January 2025. At Lozi Christian School, we understand that every child is unique. Our qualified and experienced teachers ensure that each child gets the personalized attention they need. Our beautiful classrooms are designed to stimulate learning and spark curiosity, offering a rich environment that caters to every child's developmental stage. And we provide balanced meals, snacks, and lunch to keep your little one healthy and energized throughout the day. With a Christian approach, we focus on the holistic growth of every child. Give your child the start of a strong start in life with a school that truly cares. Enroll today. Don't miss this opportunity to give your child the best start. Visit us off Kasarani Mweki Road or call us now at +254 758 396 110. Lozi Christian School, a foundation for the future.
Welcome back. This is the Monday Morning Digest, and today we're talking about mentorship, understanding mentorship. And my guest here, Martin Owilah or Omondi, he's a mentor. He's an amazing guy. He's so committed and passionate about mentorship, and he is actually part of a program called the Mentor Me program. And he's worked with a lot of young people. He's also very big in sports. He's part of the KCB rugby team.
Yes.
And he's part of the people who help with the welfare. And he's been in the club for a long time and played rugby. And he's a real gentleman. So when we talk about mentoring and mentorship, he's actually lives what he talks about. And before we went to the break, we were talking about, some of the, keys to developing an effective mentorship program. I think you talked about, Martin, this shape model of mentorship. That is, you need to look at spirituality. When you're mentoring people, you need to look at their heart, and helping them develop a heart for life, I believe. Then the abilities, that is, help people build their ability and their associations.
Yes.
And then, of course, explore all their potential, that is
Yes.
personal potential. And then the experience, the place of experience. Mentorship means some people actually need to be mentored out of some of the bad experiences they have had. They need to find and connect with other experiences that help shape them and empower them.
Yes.
Because if you've had some very, very difficult experiences, or you've been abused, or you've had a very, very difficult time, I think it's good to meet other people who have probably gone through the same experiences.
Exactly.
And they flipped that, come to the other side. They've been able to conquer their all the devils that have bedeviled them. And so there are people, if you're out there and you're fighting and feeling very downcast, and maybe you're looking for a mentor, or you've gone through some experience and you feel that you're alone, I think you need to reach out to Martin. He can connect you to people who can actually help you find your place again. So Martin, let's go back to the conversation on mentorship.
Yes, yes.
We still need to maybe redig again and maybe define for people what mentorship is.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, and then and who really are mentors.
And who really are mentors.
So that's very, very important. So take it from there.
Yeah, and for those who are joining us once again, you are so welcome to this program. We have been talking about mentorship, and I think we need to understand one of the things about mentorship in simple terms is mentorship is all about followership.
Yes.
Mentorship is all about followership. And the best thing about this, and why we need to embrace, mentorship is not motivational speaking. I think we need to be clear about that.
Yeah.
So for us also who are engaged and doing mentorship, we are not motivating people. The things that we're engaging might be motivating to you, but we usually tell our mentees that let your motivation be intrinsic. Let it come from within you. You find reasons to motivate yourself. That I woke up this morning, David said in Psalms 3 and verse 5, that I laid me down to sleep and I woke up because the Lord sustained. That already is a factor of motivating yourself. And so mentorship is all about followership. And there is someone that you are looking forward to, that you are looking up to, a role model, a coach, but someone who is mentoring you personally. It's also good news to know that actually God is the author of mentorship. The Bible tells us that God is the God of Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac. So that God of generation, he leads and he guides. Follow me and I will make you. So in mentorship, you are made by following. It is Isaac Newton who said that the reason why I've seen far is by standing on the shoulders of those who have gone ahead of me. So mentorship in simple terms is followership. There's a scripture I really love that relates with mentorship in Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 12. And the Bible says that don't be lazy, don't be slothful. In many terms that we can say, don't be a one-man army. Isikue sasa, no, me, I can do this by my own self. But the Bible says that be followers of them who through faith and patience have inherited the promises. So where you are headed to, where I am headed to, there is someone who has walked that journey, there is someone who has been there. And so they're able to guide you. What took them 10 years might take you 5. The challenges they pass through, you might be able to negate them. The successes that they pass through, they might be able to share with you so that you also amplify on the same. One of the best things about any mentor is that they desire and they want to see their mentees come out even better. Growing up, I used to watch these, movies like Tai Chi. For millennials, they understand. And, there used to be a master and those who are they're training.
Yes.
And so it is always good that the master would want to see that, his students become better than him in terms of the moves, in terms of the tournaments that he goes to, in terms of the successes. And so every mentor, genuine mentor outside there, wants to see that the mentees are able to succeed and grow beyond themselves. So mentorship is all about followership, but you are following after people who through faith and patience have actually gotten the results.
Yes.
So another thing is coming up, that in mentorship, results are actually key. That as Owilah Martin, I'm following someone who is mentoring me spiritually, there's someone mentoring me financially, in leadership-wise, in sports. They need to actually have the results in the area that they are mentoring me on. And so for us also, we're engaged in mentorship talks and career and personal development sessions. That means that we have to be what we actually say. Yeah? Jesus talking about the scripture in Acts 1:1, the things that Jesus began both to do and to teach. So mentorship, preaching, teaching, mentoring becomes effective when we are doing the things that we are teaching. Okay. We are only going to impact because the generation we are dealing with is actually more interested in seeing what you are doing apart from just what you're saying. And so talk is cheap, as they say. Our actions are going to be key. Most of the time when we get invited in different schools, sometimes they'll come and tell you, we want you to talk to young people about the dangers or the negativity or the effects of maybe drugs and substance abuse and alcohol abuse and stuff like that. You cannot be in it and impact on them. That means you must have come out from that kind of addiction. You must have come out from that kind of struggle and challenge. So God gives you the grace to be, part of impacting on them. Because now it is not just coming as a talk, you are also the light and salt that is shining on them. So let your light so shine among men that they may see your good works.
Right.
Your good works means that you are doing the things that you are saying. And so who are mentors? And you know, I was just trying to type them here, and we just look at these 5 in a few, in a different perspective this year, 2025, that mentors are ladders. Yeah, some of you know them as destiny helpers, those who help you in different ways, but mentors are ladders. They're able to give you the platform for you to keep on climbing in your career path, in your sportsmanship, in your academics. Mentors are actually ladders.
Okay.
Yeah, they can be pastors, they can be teachers, it can be an individual, an organization, an institution, but mentors are what we call ladders, giving you the room, the platform to continue to climb part-time. You are not jumping. There's a process that you're embracing. There is a training, there is an instruction that you are taking to climb that ladder.
Okay.
And then also we see that mentors are feathers. Yeah, they're able to hold you. Because you see, in our generation and in life, God takes you to the highest point as you continue to grow. But you need someone to sustain you in that place because they have been there. It's not just their fire and the anointing and the knowledge and the skill. Talent in sports, we say talent is not enough. You might be talented. You are the best player in your Form 4 areas in your high school. When you come to the club, you know, when we were in high school, they used to say a mono should just be seen and not to be heard. So you might have been an head boy in primary school.
Yeah.
When you get into high school, you're actually a mono. You listen to what the captains are saying.
Yes.
You must have been a captain in your high school. When you get into the university, you actually are first year.
Yes.
So that is to help you humble yourself and realize, okay, so where I am, someone else is even higher than me.
Yes.
So that gives you the room to embrace mentors as feathers. Where you are going to, God has already destined people that, you know, we are there to help you to continue flying and to continue in that realm. And then also mentors are coaches.
Okay.
And you know, as a sportsman, I really relate well with this because coaches are able to see, coming from high school, I used to play a different position in rugby.
Okay.
Getting into the club, the coach is able to tell you, from what I see in you, the skill, the potential, the growth, the future, I believe you can play in this position better.
Okay.
And so they now start training you in that specific area. You might not have seen it because maybe in high school you are the star. You are playing in every position. You know, there's excitement. So, uko kila mahali. But when you meet a coach, the coach now is able to refine you to a specific area, a specific position, a specific assignment. And so mentors are also coaches because when you are confused in different areas of life, mentors comes in to be able to realign you to a specific area. And then the last two is that mentors are trainers. They train you. And if there's something that our young people, you and I, must be able to embrace is the place of training. This quick thing, tunataka kila saa, it has to stop. We need to actually embrace the place of training. We need to embrace process. We need to embrace, you know, being taken through steps, level, precept upon precept, line upon line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strength to strength. You see things and you start growing per time. Because through that process, through that training, God is able to use that now as a testimony to the rest. So that mtu akikuja tu akwambie, you don't just say, ni God maze. What are the processes that you have gone? What are the networks that you have? And networks are not bad things because our young people think that you need networks. Networks are very much important. That is why we talked about as association. Yeah, because they help you to grow per time. And then lastly, mentors are also reference points.
Okay.
And reference points here is where we bring in the place of, you know, platforms that I mentioned.
Yes.
I've been privileged to attend the Truth Mentorship. That is a platform. I might not meet my mentor in person, but through that platform, I'm able to listen to them as they teach, as they preach, as they guide. I'm able to get 1 or 2, 3 nuggets. I'm able to be part of, you know, the Awakening Conference all the way in Kenya. You're able to grow in those platforms. Youth Alive forums and sessions happening in different areas. You're able to grow in those forums. The conferences are the summits. You grow in these places because you attend them because they're in line with your calling. I was privileged to attend the Young Ministers Conference held by Apostle Juma sometimes back last year. And I mean, he preached from the book of Samuel about David, being skillful, being a warrior. And so through that, as a leader, as a mentor, I'm able now to fit myself in what do I need to capture. That apart from just being a warrior, apart from that skillful, what is my tenacity? What is my vision? Am I just going to be playing the harp for the king forever? No. After that, what next? So that really helped me to see, okay, there are different stages, but there is a destination. So then sports then becomes, so rugby is yet in life and death for me. It is just a platform. That means there are injuries, the contract can end, there's a time for me, but becomes a stepping stone that launches you to a different direction. So I think with all that, we are able to put ourselves and understand why it is important that we need mentors.
Oh, wonderful,
yes,
wonderful. That is amazing. I mean, you're laying out very, very important guidelines here for mentors, people who want to actually be mentors and who want to go out there and influence and shape others, and like I like that those 5 different aspects of being an effective mentor.
Yes.
Mentors are ladders, mentors are fathers, mentors are coaches, they are trainers, and they are reference points. So yes, if you're out there and you've been talking about a mentorship program for your youth, Martin, what I've realized is pastors, whenever they encounter some of these problems with the young people, they start saying, I think I'm going to set up a mentorship program. I'm going to set up. But sometimes it's very difficult to work that out. Those of you pastors that are following this conversation, now you know what to do. Find a leader, specific people that can actually set this kind of programs. And remember that it is a ladder you want people to go through and go and grow. Then you also want people that can actually father others and coach others. And I like some of the things that you've said about coaching, that coaches, you find somebody is doing something, even in a church scenario. Let's talk about the church scenario. Somebody is probably a music, he's interested in worship and music. So they come to the worship, they try leading the songs, they go to the guitar, you see they are a little bit, they are still not very well refined. They go to the drums, they jump on the drums, they play a little bit. And so a good coach and a good mentor is someone who then identifies this person.
They can actually pick it up.
Yeah, they can pick it up and say, no, look, you should focus yourself on your voice. You have a very good voice. You're not very, very good on the keyboard. You're not very good on the drums, the guitars. You have some spark, but not there.
Yes.
How about you focus on this? Or maybe actually you should focus on the instrument.
Yes.
And maybe one of the instruments you should focus on is this particular.
And the moment, they bring that in your mind, then the clarity starts coming in.
Yes.
And then you start now focusing entirely your energy on that area.
Yes.
And sooner or later, then you become, someone who is able to be so competent and impactful from that. And also, I forgot something on mentors as a reference point. To our pastors, to our teachers, our schools, our organizations who are calling for mentorship programs, remember results are key.
Yes.
So you can't bring someone who has not gone through drugs abuse, has not suffered through it. They won't really, for me, as a personal opinion, in mentorship, they won't really have the much impact to the people. If you bring someone who has been brought out of drug abuse, who almost even died through that, God has saved them, they have been refined. They're able to talk out of experience.
Yes.
And so when young people, because they want to relate with you, have you really gone through this thing?
Yes.
That becomes a very key aspect. You're not talking outside of knowledge and theory. I've actually gone through it, and I know the dangers of it. I know the sufferings I've gone through it. And so I'm able to tell a young person, this road is not going to be good for you.
Yes.
And so let us find people who have results in what we are trying to have them mentor. Whatever topic we give them to come and talk about, they need to have results. It's something that we are very key with, with our mentoring program, that the people we bring in, the likes of Benin or Lubenga have been there, Eugene Okanda, different setups, different kind of people, they have to have results in that area. Yeah, because with that now, they bring it out with so much passion, so much understanding, and so much knowledge.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I think we need to tell our viewers that Martin is right here. Martin himself is a mentor, and So yes, please, if you have a program and you're looking for somebody to mentor your young people, I think you should engage Martin,
Yeah, please.
and you should get hold of him. And thank you for those of you that are following this conversation. Steve Turaga, thank you. You're watching Patrick Moredi Nyaga, our pastor, apostle of God and man of God. Thank you that you're watching. Stephen Victory is watching. Preacher Man, a good friend of ours.
Yes.
Thank you so much for following this conversation. And as we begin the new year, I know you have a program. You have your youth program set out. Please remember to lean more towards mentorship. Don't just do those routine programs.
Yes.
Make sure you actually have a robust mentorship program. So let's briefly talk about how to set up a mentorship program.
Yes.
There are pastors out there who want to hear, or even youth leaders who want to hear, how do I really set up a mentorship program?
Yes.
I know you mentioned the various pillars
Yep.
and the keys. You've described who are mentors. You've talked about the model of shape. You've talked about maybe even the institution that you have, the Mentor Me program. So other people who want to to set up mentorship program, what's your advice?
Well, my advice would be, you know the niche, you know the area or the challenge or the gap that you actually want to fill. That is one of the things. And let me use an example of the school I'm engaged in with Mary Shaw School.
Yeah.
Now, the first time I went there, I didn't know that the word Mary Shaw is not just a name for the school. It's actually an abbreviation of the core values. So, the core values stand with different things. And I looked at the last letter, which is W. There's winning mentality. We have S, which is spirituality. There's integrity, entrepreneurial, all these things, men, on purpose and stuff like that. And so one of the things that you need to put in place as you set up a mentorship program is first identify the gap. Even within our church setup, our organization, our school, what is really the niche, what is really the gap that our young people are struggling with? Because you find that you can be sound spiritually, but there are other areas that you are not really growing in place. And then after that, number two thing is that you come up with different areas of topics that can be covered. Because that now becomes easier also to identify what kind of mentors and speakers and facilitators are you able to bring on board. Do you want people to talk to your young people about financial literacy? Are you bringing someone, like Owilah to talk about personal development? Are you bringing someone like Benin Wanubengo to talk on, what we call public speaking? Are you bringing someone like Eugene Okanda to talk about communication and public speaking? Different people, Joe Wisdom, public speaking. So you have to identify the different topics. The different topics will lead you on who is a speaker or a facilitator that I can be able to bring on board. I love working with mentorship models because they give room to the mentees to go and now assess themselves. For us to sustain them, they have to actually bring themselves into the equation. As we mentioned from the book of Philippians, Paul saying, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I have to put myself, I have to take personal responsibility. And so the shape model, the hope model, and all the models that we use helps them to assess themselves personally. Okay, so what is my spiritual life? And spirituality is actually living under the dictates of scriptures, as simple as that. What are the things I have a heart for? What are the things I'm passionate about? Because it will lead them now to start manifesting themselves in those areas and making impact. Okay? Something like, just hygiene. Some people get so mad about, hygiene issues. That can be a pointer for you to make that area better.
Yes.
What are my abilities? I have to sit down and ask myself. I can ask my friends. I can ask my family members. What are some of the abilities that you people see in me? So through that, I'm able to improve on them.
Yes.
What are my association? And how are they helping me? I already know that association is key. Can two work together except they agree? No. I also understand that the wise works with the wise, then I become wise. If I'm working with 6 millionaires, I might be the seventh in the next few minutes, or in the next few days, in the next few hours, or in the next, because your association also shapes who you are, and that makes who you are in terms of your personal development and growth. What are my potentials? What are my gifts and talents? Which is that area that if you don't need, to be so much encouraged to do it. Those are some of the areas that you are passionate about in line of your giftings and talents. What are some of the experiences I've gone through that I feel are actually weighing me down, actually propelling me, actually shaping who I am? Because I didn't start rugby now, for example. It started all the way back. I saw my uncle, Dennis Timon, playing rugby. My mom apparently at some point played rugby. It's a whole family of sports. My uncles play rugby, Billy and the stuff. So through that, it just shapes who you are per time. The truth of the matter is, if you sit down and just meditate, you'll understand there are certain things that you're actually doing, consciously or unconsciously, that are part of your experiences. And so that kind of a mentorship tool, or the was is, have a mentorship tool, have a mentorship model, have a mentorship area of topics and niche and gap that you really want to fill.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. So I think we are saying that you need to be deliberate. If you want to have an effective mentorship program, you need to be deliberate. But I think what you've described, Martin, on identifying that area of need very specifically, and making sure that you are very deliberate. You do a proper diagnosis, and you know what you want to achieve. I know sometimes pastors, I know you've lined up in this year, your youth programs are coming. You have the usual, pastors, youth, you remember your camp. And so sometimes it can be very routine and just it can be so traditional, and they can actually lack that very refinement. So yes, make sure you incorporate mentorship in your youth programming, and make sure that your programs and your mentorships are effective. I just want to read some of the comments here. That we have Vanis Aoko.
Vanis Aoko. That's my beautiful wife.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you, Pastor Godfrey, for this platform. Martin, Owilah, more grace, and continue to be a voice in this generation. Amen. May the youths are looking up to you, following the talk and getting blessed. So yes, Vanis here, your wife, is very excited. And Oprah Mora, mentorship is about followership. Wow, what a great definition.
Oprah Mora, that's my sister-in-law.
Oh, wonderful. Martin, you're doing good for our generation, more grace. And then Mayono Dennis, what a wonderful way to begin the year 2025, year of fruitfulness. Thank you very much, Dennis, and thank you for your comments and encouragement. We are beginning the new year 2025. Obviously, many of you have great dreams. Some of you feel that this is the year. This is the year you're going to discover.
This is our year.
This is the year.
This is also my year.
Hii ni mwaka yangu. So find the help you need. I think you said something like that. If you're going to walk, they say, I think if you want to walk far, if you walk alone, you only walk some
distance.
Yes, but if you want to go very far,
you need to walk with people.
You need to walk with people. So yes, find a mentor and make sure that you are able to explore every of your potential, and make this year count for yourself. So Martin, we are going towards the tail end of our discussion today. Are there other areas that you wanted to speak to, and as we wrap this up, so that we can help our viewers understand what they need to do? We have just about 2 minutes, and then we wrap.
So very importantly in the next 2 minutes is that some of these of your mentors, you might not meet them in person, but take advantage of the social media handles, different platforms that your mentors are actually speaking at. I didn't manage to meet my mentor, Maizmundo, in person, but yes, he was in Kenya at some point. But what I'm saying, I've listened to him more and more, and different platforms you can access your mentors in different areas. And mentorship will cost you. And most of the time when we say cost you, people think of money. Mentorship will cost you your finances. Mentorship will cost you your energy. Mentorship will cost you your convenience. Mentorship will cost you your resources. And so be willing to put in the cost, to put in the price, and to pay the price. And lastly, if you're going to really enjoy mentorship this year, and all through your season of life, you need to be tough. In that abbreviation of TAF, you really need to be tough. Be teachable. Be someone who can be corrected. Be someone who can be taught. Be someone who can be guided. Be teachable. Your mentor can be able to tell you something and you can be able to heed to it. And then be available.
Yes.
In sports, sometimes the coach cannot, in fact, not sometimes, most of the time. Coach cannot use you if you are not available.
Yes.
So be available for the mentorship sessions that you have enrolled in. Be available in your workplace. Be available in your training. Be available in your place of work. Be available in your place of impact. Be available. God uses the available. Okay. Stop looking at if you have qualified or not. You are a becoming person. So be tough, be available, and lastly, be faithful.
All right.
In trainings, as in a coach, anaenda tu anasema we are doing 50 push-ups. You might not be doing them as fast as the others who have been in the team for the longest time, but do it to your 50. Be faithful to your gift. Be faithful to your talent. Be faithful to your mentorship program. Be faithful to your mentor. Don't abuse your mentors. Don't extort from your mentors. Don't borrow a lot of money and stuff like that from your mentors. Build a relationship. And lastly, mentorship is not what we call fishing. Yeah, for those of us who come from the lake, we understand what fishing is, and many in this country. Mentorship is farming. There is a cultivation of relationship that you need to do.
Wonderful.
So embrace the cultivation, embrace the process, and I see God taking us and leading us to the right mentors. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Asante sana. Thank you indeed. Mentorship is not fishing, it's farming. It means you are in it for the long haul. Farmers are very, very interesting. When we talk about farming, I think that conversation of farming has come up in some other forums.
Wow.
And it's really very encouraging.
Yes.
Farmers begin by sowing. And then, of course, they have to look after the crop. And then the good news comes during the harvest.
We'll talk more about it next time.
Yes, we'll talk about that next time. But yes, I believe you've been blessed and inspired on this Monday morning. It's really amazing. Let's be deliberate. Those that are in charge of youth programs, those of you pastors, you have an army of young people in your church, or maybe you're working with some institution. Please, let's pay attention. Let's spend time to develop effective mentorship programs so that then we can actually help our young people, so that we are not regretting and criticizing the young people, saying, oh, these young people don't hear, don't listen. I think it's us people to actually go out there, and Martin has really shared with us how to understand mentorship and to make sure it's really effective. So thank you very much indeed, Martin.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure having you on the set.
Yes.
And I wish you God's blessing and success in your journey and in your work, in your sporting engagement, and in your ministry. I believe that the Lord is going to use you in an amazing way. So thank you so much. Thank you, our viewers. It's been an amazing thing. Thank you, Martin. Maybe you can look at that camera and just give a parting shot.
So once again, thank you all for having me. It was so nice also to, just not know that my wife was watching. Thank you so much, Mama Gweth, for today. And to all our viewers, thank you for being part of this show, as we called it, Mentorship Mondays. I believe that you have been inspired. Above all things, let us build on our spirituality. As we know, God is the author of mentorship. So let us, look unto God, and let us build ourselves in that place of spirituality, so that through that we can get ourselves aligned to the right mentors and to the right coaches and to the right fathers and feathers. And also an encouragement to all our parents outside there. If you're looking for a school that has a mentorship and spirituality as a pillar, you are welcome to bring your son. Medical school is just home of the boy child. So I'm there having sessions with them at a time. So yeah, we are open for grade 7, 8, and 9. And also those who are continuing. There's no Form 1 this year. So Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, karibuni sana. God bless you, and we shall talk more next time. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks all of you, and God bless you so much. Thank you for staying tuned in. I've been your host, Godfrey Gichuki. This is the Monday Morning Digest. We'll see you next week, same time. Keep it elevated and keep following us, and may the Lord bless you. Have a great new week, and bye for now. Amen.
Hallelujah.